Reaching the age of adolescence. Introduction. Previously, we learned that our body undergoes certain changes which lead to reproductive maturity. This phase in our life is called as adolescence. The body of every boy and girl undergoes certain changes such as increase in height, changes in voice, maturing of the sexual organs, and development of secondary sexual characters. But what is it that brings about these changes? Chemical substances called hormones that are secreted from the endocrine glands of the body bring about these changes. The hormones are released into the blood by the ductless endocrine glands. These hormones then reach the target site, which responds to the hormone. The onset of puberty and the various changes that occur during adolescence are controlled by the hormones. Sex hormones and their role in initiating reproductive function. The pituitary gland in our body secretes a hormone that matures the sperm and the ovum. It also secretes various other hormones that stimulate the testes in males, to secrete the male hormone testosterone and the ovaries in females, to secrete the female hormone estrogen. Testosterone and estrogen are sex hormones, and they bring about the secondary sexual characters in males and females. Reproductive phase in humans. When the testes and the ovaries produce gametes, an adolescent becomes capable of reproduction. In males, the capacity for maturation and production of gametes lasts for a much longer time than in females. In females, the reproductive phase of their life begins at puberty, that is around the age of 10 to 12 years, and lasts till the age of 45 to 50 years. The females undergo a cycle called as the bleeding cycle or menstruation. Menstruation occurs once in about 28 to 30 days. The first menstrual flow begins at puberty and is termed menarche. At 45 to 50 years of age, the menstrual cycle stops. Stoppage of menstruation is termed menopause. The reproductive life of a woman lasts from menarche to menopause. The menstrual cycle is controlled by hormones. The ova begins to mature with the onset of puberty. One ovum matures and is released by one of the ovaries once in about 28 to 30 days. During this period, the wall of the uterus becomes thick so as to receive the egg in case it is fertilized and begins to develop. This results in pregnancy. If fertilization does not occur, the released egg and the thickened lining of the uterus along with its blood vessels are shed off, resulting in bleeding. This is also called as the period or menstruation. Sex determination. Once the egg released from the ovum is fertilized by a sperm, pregnancy occurs. The fertilized egg or the zygote contains thread-like structure called the chromosomes, which will help us determine the sex of the baby. That is, whether the baby will be a boy or a girl. Chromosomes are present in the nucleus of every cell. All human beings have 23 pairs of chromosomes in the nuclei of their cells. 2 chromosomes out of these are the sex chromosomes, namely X and Y. A female has 2 X chromosomes, while a male has 1 X and 1 Y chromosome. The gametes, that is egg and sperm, have only 1 set of chromosomes. The unfertilized egg always has 1 X chromosome. But sperms are of 2 kinds. One kind has an X chromosome and the other kind has a Y chromosome. When a sperm containing X chromosome fertilizes the egg, the zygote would have 2 X chromosomes and will develop into a female child. If the sperm having a Y chromosome fertilizes ovum, the zygote would develop into a male child. Thus, we now know that chromosomes of the father determine the sex of an unborn baby. The belief that the mother is responsible for the sex of her baby is completely wrong, and to blame her for this is totally unjustified. Summary. Let us now summarize what we have learned so far. The onset of puberty and maturity of reproductive parts are controlled by hormones. Hormones secreted by endocrine glands are released directly into the bloodstream. Testosterone is the male sex hormone and estrogen is the female sex hormone. The reproductive life of a woman lasts from menarche to menopause. The breakdown of the uterine wall and bleeding in case of failure of pregnancy is called the menstruation. Males have XY chromosomes and females have XX chromosomes. The sex of the child depends on the chromosomes carried by the father's sperm.